Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. Glad you've joined us. You won't find another show in the metro area that talks about what we discuss, and that is the growth and development of your favorite city. We do a lot of real estate development, construction, new businesses. We're also kind of famous for talking about new restaurant and retail businesses. We're going to do all of that today. It'll be a busy show as always. We want to thank our title sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, along with Dingman's Collision Center, Best of Omaha Award winner with 4, soon to be 5 metro area locations. Without any further ado, it's time to bring on my co-host, a legendary real estate deal maker from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Beals.
Well, good morning, Trenton. I'm very excited today because we have a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review by Chris Corey, sponsored by All Makes. All Makes, of course, the legendary office equipment, office furniture retailer that is located near 25th and Farnham, also locations in a lot of surrounding cities. Like they have one in Lincoln, a relatively new one they opened in Lincoln. But Trenton, the restaurant to be reviewed this week is not so much a restaurant as it is a cocktail bar. Chris looked at Inkwell in Countryside Village.
Very unique place, and it's popular. And they've got an affiliation with ACX Theaters, too.
Yeah, similar ownership, or at least the ACX Theater ownership are partners in Inkwell. And nice little place. It's right there in Countryside Village, very close to Timber. And in fact, I think Chris said in the review that after enjoying a little bit of Inkwell, they decided to go, I'm not going to say sober up, but maybe have a nice meal at Timber after going to Inkwell.
Not a bad idea.
You can read that review and all of Chris's reviews about a wide variety of Omaha restaurants simply by going to growomaha.com. Click on reviews on the navigation bar, and then there's a drop down. You have 2 choices there, Eats and Flicks. Eats would be restaurants, Flicks would be movies, and you can see them all there. And thank you to All Makes Office Equipment and Furniture for making Grow Omaha Eats restaurant reviews possible. All right, let's go into our news of the week. We have a lot of things on the docket today. News of the week is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. They are in the, mortgage business. They're also in the getting you your part of the American dream business. You know, when you're thinking about buying a house, there's so many things that you have to do. It's a big deal. But one of the headaches that you can eliminate is all of the financing and how it works. By simply going to Eagle Mortgage, meeting with one of their mortgage brokers, they sit down with you, they figure out what the best lending solution is for you. As a mortgage broker, they can shop a wide variety of banks, so they know the best bank and the best loan for you. Holly Schneiderwin is the chief mortgage broker over there, but she's got a team that works with her at Eagle Mortgage. They do a great job.
Doesn't matter. 35 years.
I beg your pardon?
About 35 years, too.
Has it been that long?
Just under, I think.
Okay. I thought it was just north of 30, but actually I was shortchanging them if it's almost 35.
Yep.
And Eagle Mortgage, located at 114th and Davenport, or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. First up on the news today, a bit of surprising news and a bit of bad news. But Omaha Children's Museum announced that it will not be building a 4-story, more than $100 million building to where it would relocate the building at 8th and Douglas Street. Came as a big surprise to a lot of people. It was right about a year ago when they announced that they planned to be doing that. They also released an architectural rendering at the time that was very impressive.
World-renowned architect.
Yeah, same firm that designed the expansion of Jocelyn's Noetta. I think I don't know if I pronounced that properly. If I didn't, I apologize. But it took a lot of people by surprise, and they basically are not saying they never will, but they're saying the time is not right now.
I think they've had some administration changes as well, which probably did not help that equation, but they will do it, and they'll do it right when the time is right. I wouldn't be surprised if they just chose another location, because that's a kind of a tight location where they're talking about.
Yeah, it's got to be challenging. Now, they had done a lot of sewer and underground work to get the site ready for that children's museum, and we'd been hearing rumors for the last few weeks that it was either going to be a no-go or possibly move somewhere. And we now know that to be confirmed. We're going to keep our eye on it. The current location is at 500 South 20th Street. A press release yesterday said for the time being, that's where they will continue to operate. But the new one was to have started going vertical within the next several months. Opening was scheduled for 2027. Now, you may recall this was in conjunction with a 17-story multifamily building called The Beam. It being developed by New Style Development, which is famous for doing so many amazing multifamily projects in downtown Omaha. We don't know for 100% what the plan is for The Beam. We're trying to get that confirmation. We have some intel that's saying it's still a go and will still be there, but we're waiting to confirm that with New Style, and when we do that, we'll definitely post a brief on growomaha.com.
So that'd be a 17-story apartment complex ground up next to a parking garage, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is, well, it was going to have a parking garage incorporated into it, and then there was to be a city-owned parking garage directly north of the Children's Museum. That is another thing we're trying to confirm. We don't know if that city parking garage that is to be north of the now not happening Children's Museum is still a go. We're trying to find that out as well. But yeah, a lot of moving parts in that area. One thing we can tell you about construction in that general area is that steel beams have gone vertical on the future streetcar vehicle maintenance facility right in that same area. It is in the shadow of Interstate 480, immediately north of it, kind of on the south part of Lot A of the CHI Center, directly west of the Kiewit Luminarium, or west of the railroad tracks that are west of the Kiewit Luminarium. That is going vertical and on target. We also know that when the rails start to go into the concrete for the streetcar next year, we believe that the first rails that will probably be installed will be in that general area around 8th Street.
Got to get the cars out of the barn.
And like get hay into the barn. If we're trying, isn't that like a metaphor? If you're trying to get a lot of things done, get more hay in the barn.
At least to get the horses in there.
Get the streetcar in the barn. All right, so that's the big opening story. We've got some other news that is a lot better than delayed or canceled museums. And the first piece of good news is Little Bohemia plans moved forward quite a bit this week. The city council approved on a 7-0 vote zoning changes necessary to build the $40 million Little Bohemia redevelopment project led by Clarity Development. This is a big deal, Trent. It involves about 10 buildings, either existing ones or to be constructed ones. You and I have looked over the renderings, and it is absolutely amazing how they want to blend these buildings in and renovate some of the historic ones. As the name Little Bohemia would suggest, this was an area for many years where a lot of immigrants from Eastern Europe settled. And so many Omahans today can trace their roots back to Little Bohemia. It kind of centers on and revolves around the intersection of 13th and William Street.
Yeah, it's really cool, though, not just to tear down an entire neighborhood, but to take the buildings and keep the same culture and ambiance.
Yeah, the idea here is to truly make it more of an urban, walkable neighborhood. And if you go through this 13th and William area right now, you'll see a lot of cavities. Cavities are what I call surface parking lots, or places where there's not a building, or there's a place where there's a very underwhelming building for the site. So like you said, Trent, they're going to do a great job of preserving a lot, but then fill it in, and it's really going to create more of a sense of place. And this is what's happening all over our urban core. And it's a great way to propel a city forward for years to come and make the city, a walkable, sustainable place.
And kudos to all the developers, especially the urban core developers that take the risks. People will say, well, they're getting all this tax increment financing and historic tax credits and stuff, but not everybody understands how that works. And it's a heck of a lot better to reinvigorate these neighborhoods than to let them sit and do a bunch of one-off projects that aren't cohesive to the neighborhoods. And if they make it walkable, next will come the residential tenants and the commercial tenants, and you want that mix so people can walk and get their groceries and go to restaurants and things like that. And it'll be another node that's just come to life when this thing gets done.
And we go from the near south side to traditional South Omaha, and that is where a light industrial complex is just getting underway. A light industrial project, I should say, getting underway. The exact address is 25th and Z Street, Z as in zebra. The Omaha Planning Board this week approved tax increment financing for El Toro Plaza. This is a 5-acre redevelopment area on the southeast corner of 25th and Z. So if you're trying to picture where exactly is that, if you're familiar with the huge UPS complex is on the west side of Kennedy Freeway, it's just south of that. The site had been kind of, an eyesore for a lot of years, but now developer plans to build 32,000 square foot light industrial building. They'll have some warehousing, office, and manufacturing space, $10.3 million project, and slated to come online at the end of next year. But love seeing things like this. We want more and more of these types of job-creating investments right in the heart of Omaha.
Well, the developer sounds pretty bullish on this one.
I like what you did there.
Toro Plaza, thank you.
Yeah, for people who don't know Spanish, toro is the word for bull in the Spanish. And Trenton, I'm so glad you remember at least one thing from Westside High School Spanish class with Senorita Burgos, and it is that El Toro means the bull.
Yes.
I hope we're both right on that. Okay, now we are going to talk about Heartwood Preserve. We're going to go way out west after being in South, though. Heartwood Preserve is the 500-acre mixed-use development west of Boys Town, and we've had a lot of people asking us on Grow Omaha, what is the building under construction just west of Gunderson's Jewelry and 30 Hop, the restaurant? It is a 2-story office building, and it will be a multi-tenant building, and we now know the first tenant to be in this building. It'll take just part of the building, but it's called B. Morton Interior Design, according to a city building permit. They are moving from 204th and Pacific to this commercial building. And the exact address is the northeast corner of 147th and Canopy Avenue. The design company will take 7,500 feet. There's room for a lot more. But Heartwood Preserve, Trenton, keep it just going hog wild crazy.
Absolutely. And there's still a lot of land to be developed, and there's a lot of talk. There's some really cool apartments that Broadmoor is doing, backing up against Millard North High School. There's going to be some, when you go south, you're going to see a lot of homes for rent and things like that around applied underwriters.
Yeah, that apartment building that you refer to just north of Millard North High School will have 550 units. That is quite an apartment building. When you drive by, it's pretty impressive. Just last week on the show, we announced that Heartwood Place, a 4-story Class A building, will be constructed immediately west of Valmont's global headquarters. And earlier this year, we announced that there would be a very nice upscale condominium project south of that. So a lot of things happening.
Which will come online in 2028, but it's 3 buildings, I believe.
Yeah, the condo thing in 28, that the office building to which I just referred would probably be, 27?
I would say. But you're also starting to see the single-family homes sprout up.
Yeah, the Heartwood Preserve also goes south of Pacific, and there are luxury single-family houses there. But just west of Millard North, there's more of kind of they're still really nice and fairly big houses, but they're more cottage style, if you will.
Right, and you see the landscaping. I mean, mature trees being planted, which are awesome.
Yeah, great development. Kudos to Applied Underwriters for making that happen. Well, wood framing is now underway on the future Oxworth Apartments at 27th and Leavenworth Street downtown. This is another Clarity development project. They're planning a 5-story, 194-unit apartment building on the southeast corner of 27th and Leavenworth. The layout includes a whole variety of studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. They'll have 127 indoor parking stalls. And an existing building that has been preserved will actually have another 12 indoor parking stalls. Completion planned for late 2026. But another example of the explosive growth of multifamily buildings on the Leavenworth corridor. There are a couple more under construction and a couple more planned between downtown and the Med Center on Leavenworth.
Compared to what we called Leavenworth in high school.
Leavenworthless?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has come a long
That was
ways.
from Jeff, but I remember that.
Well, back when you and I were in high school, Leavenworth looked a little dodgy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't anymore.
Not like Dodge Street, ladies and gentlemen, but just kind of icky. But now it's a place to be.
Leavenworth is one of the coolest corridors in the city now. And when you saw it a couple decades ago, you wouldn't have believed it. But Leavenworth is kind of where it's at. Hey, we got a little bit of road construction news for you. Scheduled next week, Thursday, November 13th, they're going to tear down the L Street Bridge over 72nd Street. Traffic will be closed on 72nd Street in both directions until Friday morning. It's going to be a quick tear down. But during construction, which will last a good year, L Street traffic east-west will be funneled into a 2-lane system, so 1 lane each direction. So it could be tough going
I want to avoid that area
for the next year on L Street. They're going to turn it into just a regular surface intersection. I kind of like the fact that it used to be able to go over it. Hey, I don't like to
fly over.
I don't like to lose anything that takes away speed of travel like that.
I got you. Are you ready for Farnham's bridge to come down now that Harney's getting done?
I tell you what, I'm not going to chain myself to it or anything like that. I'm excited.
You've grown up a lot.
Yeah, I've grown up a lot. No, that bridge demo should take place early next year on that, and then the Harney Street one is getting pretty close.
I think it's opening later this month, isn't it?
We hope so. Yeah, we hope so, and but definitely by the end of the year. And that of course is being done to accommodate streetcar traffic and just upgrade the bridges. And with that, we officially conclude your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Going to take our first break of the hour. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a few statistics about Omaha and Nebraska when it comes to population growth and a few other things from the UNO Center for Public Affairs Research. Trent and I are very, very interested in what it takes to get Nebraska and Omaha more economically competitive vis-a-vis competing markets. It's going to be a theme we have for the next several months. We're going to touch on that. And we also have a few news items that, well, frankly, we weren't able to fit into the news of the week. So we're going to slam them into the next section. Stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Well, that went long, but we're good.
Yeah, we always got to do it. I like a long opening segment.
Keeps them coming.
Keep them tied in. And for all you people on the podcast, you don't really care.
Nope.
No.
Fast forward this part. There's going to be some dirty jokes, though, so it's up to you.
Don't fast forward this part.
I'm just kind of curious what dirty jokes he's going to do. He usually comes up with dad jokes during this segment. Dirty dad jokes?
Dirty dad jokes.
Were you all watching the game?
Probably just home.
You haven't really thought about
home with Jack and Steph. Yeah. Hope I stay awake.
What's Jack doing in town?
8 o'clock kickoff. A lot of times, if there's an away game, he'll come back and because he can study college football and the Husker game much more closely at our house than he can in a fraternity. Hope I can stay awake. I might have to take a nap this afternoon so I can stay awake for the game.
Are he and his gal still together?
I don't know if we
can't
should
talk
talk
about
about
that.
this on Uncut.
Yeah, we'll get an update after the show.
Okay.
Now, more of the exciting times of Jack Beals.
Jack has no idea he's being talked about.
I said
Uncut
nobody's name.
soap opera saga.
And tens of people are listening to find out that
Are they? Aren't they?
actually it's not bad. This thing actually, all joking aside, doesn't get bad viewership. It's way more than 10.
Yeah.
So,
20 even.
some weeks it might even push triple digits.
I think I have to go back. So YouTube automatically designated this as a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to go back and redesignate it that because it.
Again, don't watch it on YouTube. Watch it on growomaha.com. No YouTube. Growomaha.com. We want the traffic on our website, not Elon's. Wait, he's got X. Who owns YouTube? Is that Google, right? Yeah. Google owns YouTube.
How was the turnout at the public forum for Crossroads?
Pretty good. I would say
Was that one Woodbury guy there?
Well, those tons of fans.
not
so they
not
could
the
get
not the main
pennies
guy,
from
but there was some
YouTube pennies.
like I think it was like the
There's a local
We're
guy.
actually just shy of being able to.
well, he's from Utah, but
Yeah, but it's living here.
temporarily at least.
Yeah, don't you have to have 10,000 or something? like
This
that?
is a younger guy who's like there was a VP of the Midwest.
But they're gonna.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy.
I'd say maybe about 6.
Do they talk about users at all or uses?
But then you have to have a certain amount of watch
Some
hours.
reference to it, but
And
nothing
that's
announced.
actually growing.
He said one of the things I'm going to mention, and
Was there 3 stories of parking under the?
I need to figure out a
you
better
should
way
have
to
come.
promote it.
Why was it correcting me? That was
I don't
entertaining.
know these questions. I don't know about number of stories. He said, and we're going to. Sorry, folks, this is going to scoop the third segment, but they might alter the order in which they build phases because they've had interest from tenants they did not expect, and might need to adopt the plan to order to accommodate these tenants.
World's largest vape shop.
IKEA and Buc-ee's are coming to Crossroads.
15 seconds.
You can make your own scent just for your vapor.
Of course, all the people like that write in are always like, world's greatest mega saver and all this stuff.
Swamp water vape.
The mega saver joke. The
All right,
mega,
here we go,
the mega
Jeff.
saver jokes are getting
Here we
old.
go.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan inviting you to join me for the Husker Online show this and every Friday night.
He's a follower.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals sitting next to Trenton Magid. We are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. What's Cheer Athletics? Well, it is the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. And very, very prestigious, very successful. There are only about 17 locations worldwide. The most important one is near Highways 50 and 370 in Papillion. A great place for your kids to get involved. Leadership, physical fitness, competition, interpersonal skills. You learn it all at Cheer Athletics, caomaha.com. Got a couple lingering news items that we couldn't fit in the previous segment. First of all, Les Schwab Tire Center plans to build a store in the Iron Bluff mixed-use development, 204th and F Street. Les Schwab is also building one in Papillion, about a 10,000 square foot building. This is a national chain that is really trying to come into the Omaha market.
They're looking for more locations as well. So Iron Bluff is a Lockwood development project. They've announced a Fairway Foods going there. I think they've got a gas station, convenience store.
And the Omaha Public Library.
And Omaha Public Library, and 2 schools too, right?
Yeah, middle school and an elementary school in that area. Great development. It's going to be really nice. Image Studios plans to open near 84th and Bar Metler Drive in La Vista's city center. The business will offer salon suites to be rented by independent beauty professionals. Build-out is currently underway by one of our sponsors, Perkins Kreitzer Construction. It'll be about a 5,000 square foot space, completion planned for the end of this year. And finally, before we talk about a few little statistics I want everyone to be aware of, the Omaha Municipal Land Bank just celebrated its 10-year anniversary. They grow up so fast.
Yeah, they do.
It's hard to believe 10 years has gone
They're
by.
working hard. That is a hard thing to do.
Tough, but very important. They have generated over the course of that 10-year period an estimated $84 million in citywide economic impact. Their mission is to transform vacant or abandoned properties into new opportunities. And over that time, they have acquired more than 1,500 nuisance properties and prepared them for redevelopment.
That's great. Even if they just mow them in the meantime, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, that land bank really is making a difference. It's not like a difference that's going to like knock you over, like, whoa, what's happening? It makes a difference in the bad stuff you don't see.
And it helps the neighborhood thrive, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, kudos to the people that are involved in that. So we have this organization at UNO that does some amazing research. It's called the Center for Public Affairs Research. And one of the things that Trent and I are going to be talking about and have been talking about a lot lately and will continue for the next several months is the sudden-ish lack of competitiveness that Nebraska, Omaha, and Lincoln have vis-a-vis other markets. We were soaring really high in the late 20-teens before the pandemic, constantly being recognized at the top of a lot of lists for growth and development. and we've tanked.
Are you saying we're starting to coast?
We do coast.
I thought we don't coast.
And it's a pretty significant problem. And the state of Nebraska has fallen woefully behind when it comes to business incentives, tax incentives, recruiting efforts to get new jobs and companies here. And there's a few things that we want everyone to kind of be aware of. We've had some good population growth in recent years, but it kind of slowed down a little bit. Kind of give you an idea, we did get some really good population growth from 23 to 24, the most recent numbers we have available. The Nebraska population grew 0.8%, which is pretty healthy. But part of that was because the Census Bureau changed some ways that international migration is counted, which kind of gave us a little bit of a boost. And we just need to do a good job with a few different things in general. Like, get a load of this. The current ratio of people under the age of 5 to the people over the age of 85 is 3-to-1. Okay, so right now you've got 3 under 5 little boogers, toddlers, kiddos, whatever you want to call them. 3 of those to every one person over 85.
Okay, and what does that mean?
In 1980, it was 5-to-1.
Really?
So what that tells you is that the population here
growth
is getting older. And hey, we love old people. I'm becoming one myself.
Right.
And so we love old people, but you want to have a nice young population. The other thing is we're having a problem with net migration within the United States. So we're doing a really good job and have been doing a really good job of getting international migration.
Right.
Immigrants coming from other countries that come to Nebraska, that come to Omaha. We fare very well compared to a lot of our surrounding states, but we're not doing so well with U.S. citizens. And that's a problem because the federal government, as has been well documented, is clamping down on international migration, which means we're losing one of Omaha's biggest growth sources.
Right.
And it means that we have to do a better job with domestic migration, getting more people to come here from other states and losing fewer people to other states.
It's all about competitiveness.
Yes. Jobs, job opportunities. A wise man who has a lot of experience in the economic development world told me when it comes to competitiveness, when it comes to attracting and retaining a population, it all begins with a job. It always begins with a job.
Because they bring spouses, they bring kids, they bring grandparents, they bring friends and family.
And we got to talk a little bit about an excuse that people make. And one of the excuses that's out there when you say, hey, we need to have better, more competitive incentives to attract businesses, and we need to do more to attract people and companies. Some people say, yeah, but we've got this really low unemployment rate. No one wants to come here when we have an unemployment rate. I just want to say this. When Nebraska was #1 state 3 years in a row for most economic development projects per capita in the late 2010s, we still had a very low unemployment rate. Can't use it as an excuse. So, folks, we'll be talking about this a lot, but remember, anytime you talk with a state senator, anytime you talk with someone from the governor's office or the governor himself, anytime you talk with someone in the Department of Economic Development or something like that, tell them how important it is for us to have competitive business incentives. And with that, we're going to take our middle of the show break. We got to get the news in. And then when we come back, we'll have our Noddle Company's commercial real estate development spotlight. And also we're going to be talking a little bit about Crossroads. So stay with us. Interesting stuff. You're listening to Trenton Magid and Jeff Beals on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
So does this go back to LB 775 or something like that with KOR?
Well, and then long after that, we had Nebraska Advantage.
Yeah.
We've had many.
There's Nebraska Advantage, then there's another one. There's two.
Yeah. But we've allowed too much of that to erode.
Remember when there was these tags, target advisory groups?
I was on one of them.
Yeah, but I was on retail, I think. And Steve Martin from, not the Steve Martin, but Blue Cross Blue Shield, he headed up the insurance one, where his job was to bring his competitors here, basically.
Which is good for him. It's like, it's the same reason why
To recruit.
Home Depot and Lowe's are across the street from one another.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
you want, it's kind of like Silicon Valley tech companies want more Silicon
what
Valley
happened to
tech
Nebraska
companies.
Advantage?
Where they've got
A lot of that stuff sunsetted, expired.
But they didn't replace him.
Well, you got a governor right now who's hostile towards economic development. And then you have, over the last
This is
several
cutting
years,
edge stuff, guys.
you've had a lot of people in the legislature who see it as a cost. You can cut budget here. The problem is, it's like,
Is our state,
it's just like advertising.
has the unicameral become more liberal?
I don't know if it's a matter of conservative and liberal. I think it's just a matter of not having a vision towards economic growth, because you're seeing some of it from both parties. Like on the liberal side, the hostility will be, oh, we don't want to give corporate giveaways to greedy rich people.
Right.
And on the conservative side, it's like, those companies don't deserve that money. Instead, we should have tax breaks.
Yeah.
The problem is, we don't give the money to recruit companies, and we still don't get tax breaks.
And at the same time, they took their collective feet off the gas. The other states have really
Yeah.
picked up.
Well, and then the current administration, I keep hearing all these things that they're kind of hollowing out the Department of Economic Development. There's even rumors that it might even be folded into a different department. Like that, talk about like not making it a priority.
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense whatsoever. We got to. I say, if any of you that might be watching this, if you have relationships with senators or the governor, just beat the drum about how important economic development is and business incentives and competitiveness. We are losing jobs, and we're losing jobs at the highest level.
But what are the giveaways or what are the incentives that have worked in the past that we can still give?
The same what every other
Taxes
states do. Yeah, you get revenue tax abatements, property tax abatements, incentives and money to train people. There's all sorts of things that happen. Utilities get involved in the economic development game. All that stuff we've always done, that we used to be really good at.
I just remember
Here at the local level, we do a great job with TIF, but that's just, that doesn't, TIF is not enough to get a Fortune 500 company to choose Omaha over Nashville or Charlotte.
Right. But I remember when in 2008 when we did the Yahoo deal,
Uh-huh.
the Tenderheart Treasures, 300,000 square foot building in La Vista, where engineers, OPPD, MUD, everybody showed up basically on the come to see if they could help each other land Yahoo.
That was weird.
And I hope that's still going
on
on.
their end.
Yeah, there's another thing I might
Yesterday,
show here.
it went down for a half hour.
Sure, I might show something, yeah.
Your PowerPoint?
30 and 4. Missouri Memories show.
Huh. I wasn't listening yesterday.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Wonder what happened there. I'll have to ask Scott about it.
Yeah.
Time will tell, period. I don't think they have an executive director now. Did
People trying to get like their own personal
Children's
Grow
vision.
Omaha via text from
they want the fresh stuff.
from the Trenton.
They don't have the they don't have an executive director, do they?
The last I heard, when I checked a couple weeks ago, there was no exec director, and the person who was quoted in the press release was the board president, not the executive director. Okay, the young workforce age is most likely to move out.
What would 4G say if I replaced all the light bulbs in here?
I'm gonna talk about that a little bit when we come back. Throw two more.
I don't know.
He would notice, I promise you.
I just do it and text them. It was me.
Center for Public Affairs.
I think it's probably how
The Starbucks coffee.
where they switch it all these things.
Yeah, it's not switches.
Did your voice notes give you a lot of like comma, like
All the time.
thanks Jeff, and then it go thanks comma or thanks
A
Trenton,
couple hours.
thanks comma Trenton. I hate that.
So
I don't think it does. Honestly, I don't use it very often. I should use it more. A lot of times I just don't.
Me and Thor
I try to
are the
keep
ones
my
that
text
show
so
that.
short that a lot of times
Yeah,
I just
the
thumb
ones
type,
that-
but I should probably use it a
I'd
little more
love to
often.
figure out how to get away with that.
I wonder if there's like a timer. I can't imagine they leave them on.
Is
all
it
the
hot in here?
No, they did.
No, I'm good.
Oh,
It's a little warm in here.
I'm always hot in here.
There.
Well, you're back in the corner too.
Some weeks,
We can open the door.
some weeks it's have to. Okay.
Did you watch Frankenstein
I don't know
yet?
if it makes much of a difference,
yet.
but some weeks it's
It's
just
free on.
Netflix.
Yeah,
hotter than shit in
Good.
here.
Yeah.
yeah. Amy's a huge fan of Guillermo.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Is it good?
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet. I watched what is it, House of Dynamite?
What's that?
It's the one with
It's a movie.
yeah, it's on Netflix too. It's a nuclear. Someone launches a nuclear weapon towards the U.S. and our
30
fail
seconds.
safeguards fail,
Thank you.
and it's
Bill.
going to hit Chicago, and it covers
Thank
like
God.
3 different perspectives from the government end on how they're dealing with it.
What was that show called when we were in high school where they blew up Omaha?
Day after tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah,
was
the day
it?
after or something.
Or the day after.
That was
It
under.
was a 1980s thing, and
All right, 10 seconds, boys.
yeah. That one hit a little close to home.
That wasn't good for economic development
Hopefully
not.
and migration.
No wonder we can't get companies to move here anymore.
That movie.
Here we go.
This is Nebraska's news, weather, and traffic station. News Radio 1110 KFAB and KFAB.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals here, sitting next to the one and only Trenton Magid from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate. Big thank you to our sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, along with Dingman's Collision Center. Dingman's has 4 metro area locations, but they're working on one in Gretna, so we'll soon be able to say 5. They all do a great job. And people go to Dingman's when you get car scratched, a door ding, serious accident, anything that happens where you need that body work, they take good care of you. Trenton and I have both found occasion from time to time to be Dingman's clients.
They're my first call.
And my first call, not that it happens all that often, but it has happened to both of us. And when it does, it's nice to know you got a company like Dingman's right here in your backyard. They do a great job.
And on your side.
Also do some mechanical work as well. So want to mention a couple other statistics from the Center for Public Affairs Research at UNO that illustrate how we need to get more competitive and less complacent about business incentives in our state. And here's one that's interesting. The young workforce age is the most likely to move out of state. So if you're young, you're more likely to leave here, and that's a concern. What's a bigger concern is that I see the data in a whole bunch of different age increments. Let's say there's about 12 or 15 of them. The first age group is 1 to 4 years old. They don't have much say whether they stay or leave. So we don't look at them too closely. And then then it goes up to 75 years and over. So there are only 3 age groups where you actually have a greater likelihood to stay in Nebraska than to leave. One of them is 35 to 39 years. That's good. That's a very good, desirable age group for economic growth. The other one is 70 to 74 and 75 and over. Every other age group leaves. In fact, the biggest one that's most likely to leave Nebraska is 30 to 34.
Do we know where they're going?
Well, they're going to a lot of places.
I mean, what do we...
This is just a one-pager here.
Okay. Well, let's not get into that.
I don't know.
It's only an hour show.
Yeah. And then the other one, who is most likely to leave? Wealthier people. Those with incomes over $75,000 are the most likely to have a net departure from Nebraska. In fact, there is no income group whatsoever that is more likely to migrate into Nebraska than to leave. But by far the biggest, 30% of all of the net out migration in Nebraska comes from people who make $75,000 or more. Now, the good news is only 1.3% of the people who leave on a net migration basis make less than $10,000.
Okay.
So we got that going for us.
You know, maybe we should change it from We Don't Coast to It's Good Enough for Warren Buffett.
We just need to get a little more aggressive and keep beating that drum. Well, let's go into our Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, brought to you by Noddle Companies. They are one of the true shining star premier real estate developers in all of America. Headquartered right here in Omaha, they do projects nationwide. But what we really are interested here are the amazing projects that Noddle Companies does in Omaha. Builders District downtown, so cool what's happening down there, and we hear a lot more to come. The Village Point West Medical Campus, the new medical campus in Gretna near 192nd and Highway 370. Of course, the most famous development here in Omaha that Noddle Companies has done is none other than Exarban Village.
They're still doing it.
And yeah, we keep hearing about more things coming to Exarban Village, and Noddle Companies is doing such great work there. But let's talk about Exarban Village today. A couple things to make you aware of. First of all, congratulations to HDR, which has its headquarters in Exarban Village. And oh, by the way, Noddle Companies did that project
Beautiful
too.
building.
HDR headquarters in Exarban Village. Just found out, according to the National Center for Employee Ownership, HDR, the international architecture and engineering firm, is number 5 on the list of America's largest employee-owned companies.
Wow.
So that is really cool. Headquarters right there in Exarban Village. Also, in case you missed it last week, just want to remind you of 3 new retail restaurant businesses coming to Exarban Village. The former Spirit World store right there on the corner is going to become Red Door, which is kind of a wood-fired barbecue type restaurant out of Kansas City. It will open in the old Spirit World Exarban space second quarter of this coming year, 2026. Also, Grand Patisserie, the very popular French bakery near 144th and Center, opening a second location in Exarban Village very soon.
Can't wait.
And then Marigold's Mercantile, which is a home goods store, home furnishing store, small, real cool, kind of like a boutique type look. It will open in the former Book Nook space in January. So 3 cool retailers coming to Exarban Village.
Always reinvigorating Exarban Village.
And that is your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week. You can learn more about Noddle Companies by going to noddlecompanies.com. Just a couple quick minutes. We want to highlight Crossroads. There was a town hall meeting earlier this week hosted by the developers, which is Woodbury Corporation out of Salt Lake City, along with the City of Omaha and MCL Construction, which is the general contractor. They shared some new renderings of the $860 million development. Nothing earth-shattering. Pretty much what we've already seen, cool mixed-use retail. A couple things that came out of the meeting. Drilling for the foundations will begin very soon. You should see a drilling rig on site next couple weeks. And most of the infrastructure and utility work is done. The first phase, which is Block E, will have Gamescape by Cinemark. We've already talked about that, a central green, underground parking. But this is kind of interesting. They said they might have to adjust the order in which they build phases of Crossroads because they've had unexpected interest from tenants they didn't plan on ever talking to. And this is a good thing, but because of it, they might need to adapt the way they build out the Crossroads to accommodate some of these tenants if they're successfully able to land them. And it sounds like there's some impressive tenants. We don't know what that means.
Yeah, everybody wants to know what that mix is, and it's hard to imagine. There's been so many different renditions of this thing over the last 10 years. It'll be fun to see what they end up with.
And finally, I asked during the meeting, what about the hideous marquee sign on the corner of 72nd and Dodge, which is just embarrassing. And the developer said, yes, that is not acceptable the way it looks, but he said it's complicated. There are a lot of moving parts and pieces, even referenced a lawsuit involving that sign.
What's interesting is a flag-shaped lot. If you look at it, it's a long, narrow strip, so they own the sign, not Target.
All right, and with that, we are going to take our final break of the hour, and when we come back, it'll be the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. Back in a moment on News Radio, 1110 KFAB.
It was quick.
I saw that.
What are you laughing at over there?
I was at 9:49. I'm like, crap.
No, you're fine. That I've wondered about that sign for years if they were ever going to get rid of it or something.
It's got like half the lights working, but they still have messages for little kids.
It looks so bad.
It is hideous. Yeah, it is embarrassing. But he said, he said it's unacceptable. I didn't have time to mention this, but they hope to have a decision as to what will happen to it by the end of the year.
The problem is, so you see that on vacant properties and stuff. I assume it's real that like if they take down like a monument or pole sign, the city will take it away from them. So you see all these like skeleton signs and stuff like that they have to
You'll
keep
have
the
about
footprint.
4.5 minutes.
Interesting.
It'll be rapido.
Yep.
Muy rapido.
I sure wish I had a way to find out what entertainment music's going on tonight. One source.
You know this company that you own half of?
Yeah.
They have this thing called,
I look on there all the time.
they have this thing if you go to growomaha.com, which is the website of the company you own half of.
Yeah.
And if you go right here,
Event Vista.
right here, see the latest events in Omaha.
All right.
Okay, so you
Show
click on that. Okay.
It's empty.
All it is an ad for Arbor Creative. Who the hell are they? Just kidding. What are you looking for?
Live music.
Live music. Oh, you gotta go. Okay. And then also we have this other place when you go to the newsletter.
Hold on, no, that's
30 seconds.
We also had to go to the newsletter right here. And the first thing we have is arts and culture.
that building doesn't exist. The back of that building doesn't exist anymore, right?
Yeah, it does.
15 seconds.
Yeah, they didn't tear that down. And then we also have this thing called events on the newsletter
10 seconds.
that sometimes has live music.
We need more.
Once in a while.
We'll have more features.
But the arts and culture,
Here
look
we
at all
go.
that entertainment. You can go to ballet.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Chip.
It's the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things really fast. Thank you to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. They are a Class A general contractor here in Omaha, and I was over in the office this week talking with Dave Kreitzer himself, and I said, "Dave, what are you working on these days?" And he's like, "Oh," and he points to this stack of blueprints. They're about as tall as Trenton. There are a lot of blueprints there, and he starts going through, we're doing this project, we're doing that project, and Perkins Kreitzer does so many of them because they do a great job. They do it for the right price, and they do it at the right timeline, and they keep their clients informed when their outstanding communication. And one of the cool things that Perkins Kreitzer is working on right now that fits in quite well with this segment is La Chime. It is a locally owned ice cream shop that will operate in a 1,600 square foot space in the Stockyards Plaza in South Omaha near 33rd and L Street. It's right next to DaVita Dialysis. And they will be opening by the end of this year. The local franchisees are the same people who own Isla Del Mar. They're also the same people that own Con Azucar, which is a coffee shop, and Perkins Kreitzer's building another one of those right there in the same center, Stockyards Plaza near 33rd and L. So Perkins Kreitzer Construction, it really, really does it all.
Go, Dave.
So we have Colette's Mercado, a concept from the owners of Dirty Birds. It's going to open at 500 South 18th Street downtown. That is in the old law building, which is being renovated into apartments. So this will take the ground floor space. They'll specialize in Italian sandwiches, retail wine and beer, house-made bread, and cured meats. Anticipated opening next spring.
Yum.
And with that, we also have Fifth House. Fifth House is a startup vegan restaurant. It just opened on Halloween in the former Get Real Sandwiches space, 39th and Farnham Street in the Blackstone District. The restaurant's tagline is the vegan joint of your dreams. I don't know if I've ever dreamt. I don't know if Trent's like, if I dream of a vegan joint, it's a nightmare. But for you people who love vegan restaurants, I am told this place is very good.
Wait, it's taking the place of a place called Real.
Get Real Sandwiches.
Okay, and
well,
so
vegan food's quite real.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just plant-based. Actually, in all honesty, we like to tease vegans every once in a while, but I have had a lot of good vegan dishes in my life.
Oh, sure.
I have.
No.
I prefer carnivorous food, but I've had some good ones.
I have a lot of friends that are vegans.
Euro Kings opened its second location November 3rd, 2211 Cape Hart Road in Bellevue. Mediterranean European Fusion Restaurant's original location is 632 North Saddle Creek. Vino Mas will open a second location in the Shops of Legacy at 2835 South 170th Plaza. This is the former Cellar 44 space.
That was a fun place.
Yeah, you and I went there with our wives one
Absolutely.
time. Had a good time. Not going to go there again. Now, if you go there after it opens as Vino Mas, you can buy wine
Okay.
and maybe wine-related things.
Better than stealing it, ladies and gentlemen.
This is really cool. T-Box is a new indoor golf franchise. They're based in Utah. They have 10 locations in Utah and Idaho, and they're going to build their first location outside of Utah or Idaho in Miracle Hills Plaza. They are going to be just north of the recently opened Funny Bone. That center also recently landed a Draftcade and a Hawaiian Brothers. So some cool stuff going on there. And then we have, speaking of golf, build out underway for the future Golf Galaxy store in L Street Marketplace. It is located between World Market and Ross Dress for Less. We also have 2 Valvoline instant oil change locations that have been approved for construction. One will be at 192nd and Center, and the second one at 72nd and Crown Point in Sorensen Park Plaza. And with that, Trenton, the music is playing, and you know what that means. Our time is finished.
Yep.
But just for this week, it's been great spending the hour with you. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics and Perkins Kreitzer Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.